Yeah, I'm recording now. I'm recording now. You're welcome. تمام. هنروح دلوقتي للاكزامز اللي احنا شغالين عليها. تمام. كنا yesterday we talked about we stopped at these questions of we stopped at here. This question 21. We were solving this question when the meeting ends or ended. We said that which statement describes a monochromatic light. This concept is frequently asked question, and you have to put it in mind. تمام؟ إيه هو monochromatic light? Monochromatic light is the light that has a single frequency. Monochromatic light is the light that has a single frequency. وخلينا نقول الكلام ده في البورد بتاعتنا، علشان البورد دي اللي ببعت لكم فيها البوينتس المهمه اللي انتوا المفروض تذاكروها، عشان يبقى احنا رجعنا السيلابس بتاعنا من خلال الاسئله. فبي كيرفول. تمام. يبقى هنا put in mind, be careful. We have a very important concept, monochromatic light. Okay, the monochromatic light is a frequently asked question. Okay, يعني what is the monochromatic light? The monochromatic light. ثواني كده. The monochromatic light is a single frequency light, or light with a single frequency. طيب ممكن حد يعني someone may ask me what's meant by a single frequency. يعني is there any light without single frequency with several frequencies? In fact, the monochromatic light is approximately in physics it's something typical. Okay, something perfect, so perfect. تمام. لأن all the lights or the ordinary lights are or has a range of frequencies. يعني put in mind in any light exists in the around us. The ordinary light sources produce range of frequencies. يعني مثلا, for example, the sodium lamp, it emits yellow light. تمام. This yellow light, when we say it's the yellow light, the yellow light of sodium is around 4000 angstrom مثلا. تمام. خلاص 4000 angstrom دوت الرقم ده بقوله مثلا مجرد مثال، يعني معناها ان ال 4000 angstrom is emitted, but not only the 4000 angstrom, لكن there is range around the 4000 angstrom, but the 4000 angstrom is that يعني the most intense light. طيب اشهر example يعني the most famous example of the monochromatic light is the laser. The laser is the most famous example of monochromatic light. Okay. طيب ممتاز. يبقى now we finished this point. مش محتاج ان احنا نكتب السؤال بتاعها. خلاص we finished this point والحمد لله. Okay. Let's go to the next question. The next question says that, so Mr. Can we say that the light that has the most light intensity and can travel more لا يا زياد، يا زيد monochromatoc light. Monochromatic light means the light that has approximately single. لان مفيش لايت في الدنيا عنده exactly single، لكن بنقول approximately. بس هو في منهجنا هنا بيستخدمها بشكل شويه يعني elementary، فبيقول لك ان هو that has a single frequency بس، تمام؟ يعني that has a single frequency approximately يعني، تمام؟ لكن الحقيقه ما فيش لايت عنده single frequency exactly، لكن في منهجنا في كأن في يعني عشان ما حدش يلخبط، تمام؟ فهو ده الديفينيشن بتاع المونوكروماتيك لايت. كلمه مونوكروماتيك يا جماعه means single colored. single colored، مونو يعني single وكروماتيك يعني colored light، تمام؟ جميل. ياسين، so Mr. when we use frequency formula the طبعا احنا بنتعامل مع single frequency في كل الفورمولاز، تمام؟ حاضر يا يوسف، هجيب الفايل بتاع ده، تمام؟ لا زيد single that has a single frequency معناها عندها value single value، مش value equals 1، يعني مش 1 هرتز. واضح؟ خليني اكتبها تاني بشكل ايه يكون واضح، تمام؟ ايوه only، خلي اهو monochromatic light معناها it أو light that has only one frequency. Only one frequency, not frequency equals 1، يعني one value of frequency، تمام؟ single frequency. A single frequency. A single تمام frequency. طيب ممتاز. Let's go to the يوسف. انا ما قلتش ان الفريكونسي بيتغير او ما بيتغيرش دلوقتي، انا بتكلم ان اللايت العادي اللامب اللي قدامك دي بتطلع رينج من الفريكونسيز، ما بيطلعش سنجل فريكونسي، عشان كده ما بيسميهوش مونوكروماتيك لايت. المونوكروماتيك لايت مثلا يقول ايه؟ ريد لايت. الريد لايت ده المفروض ثيوريتيكالي ان هو له سنجل فريكونسي مش رينج من الفريكونسيز. وصلت الفكره ازاي؟ تمام؟ فده بسميه مونوكروماتيك لايت، تمام؟ ممتاز. طيب خلينا نروح تاني للبوينت اللي بعد كده اللي هي الكويستشن نمبر 22، تمام؟ In a shallow tank a water wave moves through a barrier with a narrow gap. The diagram shows the waves on the left hand side and the right hand side of the barrier. تمام؟ بالضبط. This phenomenon اللي هي ايه؟ ممتاز لينا، ممتاز ياسين. Thank you everyone. طبعا this phenomenon شكرا زي. This phenomenon is what? Diffraction. This phenomenon is diffraction. Okay, so here this phenomenon is diffraction. I think the question is very easy. It doesn't require to be explained. تمام؟ لكن هنا ان شاء الله تفكروني، مش تفكروني يعني النهارده ان شاء الله هنشرح الray and the wavefront and the difference between them and how can we express different phenomena of waves. لا مش changing، هو عنده باكج من الفريكونسيز يا احمد. باكج من الفريكونسيز، يعني عنده مثلا 70 80 فريكونسي مع بعض كلهم ميكسد توجذر، مش سنجل فريكونسي. انما المونوكروماتيك عنده سنجل فريكونسي واحد بس. وصل؟ موضوع سهل، مصعبينه على نفسكم ليه؟ تمام؟ طيب يبقى هنا ده كويستشن ايه؟ 20 اللي موجود قدامنا بيتكلم عن الديفراكشن. انا مش هتكلم دلوقتي عن الديفراكشن الحقيقه، تمام؟ لان انا عامل له وقته. تمام؟ يور ويلكم. خلاص؟ جميل جدا. Light travels at a speed of 2 times 10 to the power of 8 meters per second in glass block. In the glass, the wavelength of the light is for what is the frequency of the light. ممتاز جدا. This we talked about this formula the last period. So let's apply now. Okay. Can you see the screen now? Can you see the screen now? The board now? تمام. Let's put the question here. لحظة. أيوه. تمام. Let's look at this question. Yalla, let's read the question together. We have here in this case, let's extract the givens. Light travels at speed, so this is the speed of light. Let me ask you a question. We'll give it the symbol C or V here. C or V? V, not C. It's not the speed of light in air nor in vacuum. Okay, so this is C. يبقى هنا C, sorry, V, not V, so V equals 2.0 times 10 to the power of 8 meters per second in glass block. The wavelength, so this is the wavelength, make sure that the measuring unit here is meter and here is meter. So the wavelength, this is lambda equals this value, okay? So he's asking me about the what? About the frequency. We know that V equals lambda times F. This is a frequently asked question يا جماعة. تمام؟ طيب. So to find the طبعا lambda and F are beside each other and the subject is always placed not always يعني خلينا نحط subject فوق هنا في الكويستشن ديت. طيب يبقى so we want to find what? We want to find the frequency. So the frequency here equals V divided by lambda. So it equals 2 times 10 to the power of 8 divided by 4 times 10 to the power of -7. So it will be I think D. تمام؟ صح كده؟ ايوه it will be D. ممتاز. لكن هنا عايز اقول الهنت some hint on this question. Be careful. Measuring unit or the SI unit of frequency is what? Remind me, what is the SI unit of frequency? Yes, it's hertz. It's hertz. And it's given the symbol H Z. ممتازين يا جماعة. And it's given the symbol H Z. The H, by the way, should be capital letter. تمام؟ أنا عارف إن في بعض الكتب بتكتبها small letter، بس ده نوع من أنواع الجهل. تمام؟ لكن هي should be capital letter. بالظبط. لا لا، هي ال SI unit is Hz is hertz. طيب, we have to be able to change from kilo طبعا K small, KHz, which is kilohertz, and capital M Hz, which is megahertz, and GHz, which is gigahertz. We have to be able to change all these values to hertz. And by the way, we never use mega, kilo, giga. يعني whenever you find mega or kilo or gigahertz, you have no choice. You have to change it to hertz before making anything in the problem. Okay, so in this case, you will do the following. Okay, number one, if it's kilohertz, okay, you will say times 10 to the power of 3, which is times 1000. I know that 1000 is preferable and easier with respect to many of you, but يعني, preferable from the point of view of physics is to write 10 to the power of 3, but both are correct. Megahertz times 10 to the power of 6, which is 1 million. Okay, gigahertz times 10 to the power of 9. Okay, so we have to memorize these factors. Okay, also, if we are talking about the wavelength, the measuring unit of the wavelength, خلاص يا فارس كده وصلتك إجابة سؤالك؟ تمام؟ سؤال مهم جدا يا جماعة. We never use kilohertz, megahertz, or gigahertz. We have to change them to hertz. Okay. Also, the SI unit of the wavelength, SI unit of wave length, which is lambda, and also A, which is the amplitude. We will mention it, inshallah, Rabbil Alameen, its place. Okay, the amplitude. The SI unit is also what? Is meter. Okay, M meter. Okay, and we have also to be able to change from the following units to meter, from M to meter, millimeter, DM decimeter, أو خلينا الأول نقول cm centimeter, DM decimeter to meter, and from mu m micrometer, decimeter, centimeter, millimeter to meter, and from n, not this n, which is nanometer to meter, and from kilometer to meter. All these should be not should be. يعني هنا يعني that depends on the problem. يعني here you can use centimeter, you can use decimeter, you can use micrometer, but that depends on the problem. لكن in kilohertz and hertz you have to change the kilohertz, the megahertz to hertz, no choice. تمام؟ يبقى هنا let's write the factors to change all these to meter. From millimeter to meter, we will divide over 1000 or multiply times 10 to the power of -3. They are the same, but I know that you prefer to divide over 1000. From centimeter to meter, we divide over 100. From decimeter to meter, we divide over 10. Okay. From micrometer to meter, we multiply times 10 to the negative, to the power of -6. From nanometer to meter, we have to multiply times 10 to the power of -9. This is, I didn't write nano, the nano meter. تمام. From kilometer to meter, we have to multiply times 10 to the power of 3, +3, negative, not -3. طيب خلاص يبقى دي هنا الفاكتورز you have to memorize them. واحد يقول لي هنا ممكن Mr. why didn't you divide here? Okay, الحقيقة in fact when I multiply times 10 to the power of -6 it means I divide over 10 to the power of 6. When I multiply times 10 to the power of -9 I divide over 10 to the power of 9. It's in fact it's division. تمام? Because the negative power gives the meaning of division. طيب سامي بيسألني طيب Mr. in the class you talked about the angstrom. Okay, why didn't you write it here? Because يعني now we talk about them يعني the most important units. لكن انا قلت لكم انجستروم يعني المفروض تعرفها لنفسك. اللي عايز يعرف انجستروم هقولها لكم لكن هي حاجه مش مهمه. انا قلتها برضه في الكلاس وقلت لكم انها حاجه مش مهمه. It's time to change from angstrom which has the symbol degree A to meter. You will multiply times 10 to the power of -10. تمام negative 10 بالظبط كده. طبعا يعني ما فيش مشكله نكتبها ما دام انتوا عايزينها وقلناها في الفصل يبقى كل الناس تسمعها اهو. The symbol of angstrom. Okay, the angstrom is to change it to meter. We multiply times 10 to the power of -10. 10 to the power of -10. يا فارس طبعا It's with us. Kelvin is with us. هنشوف دلوقتي إن شاء الله. طيب ممتاز. Let's go again to our exam. طيب this question is asking about the topic 2. تمام. This question is on topic 2. تمام. خليني بسألهم بسرعة على التوبيك 3 في طبعا دي هنا في كويز تاني بسرعة. تمام. وبعدين نرجع على توبيك 2. لا كده احنا عند توبيك 4. خلينا نشوف question دوت. تمام. An echo sounder on a ship produces a pulse of sound. The echo is received by the echo sounder after 2 seconds. Okay, so here what's the given here? قولوا لي لو سمحتوا من فضلكم اكتب ايه في الجيفن هنا. What's the given here? So the given here is 2 seconds. It's time equals t equals 2 seconds. Okay. بالظبط كده. تمام، ما شاء الله، احسنت يا احمد، ما شاء الله، هايل. تمام، خلينا نشوف this question. تمام، ده يعتبر repeating للايديا بتاعت امبارح. تمام، عشان تحصل افاده. تمام، جميل جدا. As you see, there is the word echo. Echo is a keyword. تمام، echo is a keyword. So this is 2 equals 2 seconds. And echo here means we will use the formula V equals 2D divided ممتاز by T. Okay, the speed of sound in air is 1,500. So we have here V يبقى هنا T equals 20 seconds. طبعا مفيش 2 seconds قصدي، مش 20، 2 seconds. تمام، 2 seconds. تمام, this is T. V equals 1,500 meters per second, and he wants me to find D. تمام, يبقى خلينا نكتب بالظبط كده, وبالظبط we have to look at the unit. تمام, جميل, يبقى نكتب الفورمولا V equals 2D divided by T, يبقى 1,500 equals 2D divided by 2, يعني هنعمل cross multiplication. تمام, يبقى هنا 2D equals 3,000, أو نقدر نعمل على طول 2 with 2 تبقى دي ب 1,500 اللي هي الانسر تبقى B. تمام, يبقى هنا D equals 1,500 meters. تمام, so the correct answer is that answer. تمام, don't worry. واضح يا جماعة كده ولا لا؟ احنا قلنا امبارح يا رينا، ان لما يكون عندي reflection او echo بستخدم الفورمولا بالشكل ده V equals 2D divided by T. تمام؟ تمام؟ ايوه. تمام, يبقى احنا هنا ده قلنا لما يكون في echo ولما يكون في reflection, و make sure that the given time is the time of forward and backward. يعني هنا يكون T دي اللي هي forward and back. تمام, forward and backward. ممتاز. خلاص, طبعا this idea was repeated with us yesterday and today. طيب, خلينا نشوف هنا البوينت ديت. بيقول لي an object O is placed close to close to a thin converging glass. The diagram represents 3 rays from the top of O passing through the lens. طبعا يا جماعة خلينا نتفق على اتفاق, يعني we agreed together if the rays are going away from each other, it means they will never intersect. So in this case, when you find the rays going away from each other, it means they will never intersect. It means their extensions will intersect. يعني it means the image will be what? Will be what يا جماعة? Real or virtual? Virtual. The image will be virtual. Okay, and any virtual image should be what? Upright or upside down? قلنا virtual is upright. Virtual is upright. Virtual is upright. ممتاز. لكن here he is asking me if it's diminished or enlarged. تمام. طبعا it's easy to know that the only virtual, this is يا جماعة لو تفتكروا, I told you about this case yesterday. I told you the only case of converging glass that makes virtual image is the magnifying glass. When the object احنا مش عايزين نضيع وقت فيها لان انا قلت لكم ان هي مش داخله في الامتحان, بس خليني اقوله لكم. احنا هنعمل ايه؟ We will extend the rays اهو، يعني مش هنضيع وقت فيها خلاص، بس يعني عشان تبقوا ايه ممتاز اهو. تمام. طب احنا ما شرحناش هنا اللينسز كويس في الريفيجن ديت، تمام، لان انا قلت لكم ان هي يمكن احنا متفقين او يعني اللينسز مش جايه معانا في الامتحانات عموما. لا انا قلت الكلام دوت، تمام. لكن خليني اقول لكم ازاي بتترسم. طبعا لما نلاقي when we say the rays going away from each other، تمام، we extend the rays back along themselves. تمام، يعني these are the extensions of the rays. تمام. طبعا الاكستنشنز لازم يكونوا dashed، ما ينفعش نعملهم solid lines كده to show that they are extensions. تمام. If you remember, I told you that extensions are something virtual, so the image which is formed by them is also virtual. تمام. خلاص. So here in this case, the object will be, the image, sorry, will be formed here. This is the image. Okay. So this is the image. Okay. The image here you can observe easily. طبعا ده يعني IMG مش طبعا مجرد symbol يعني. تمام. The size of the image is more than the size of the object, so it's diminished or enlarged. لا, it's enlarged. تمام. It's enlarged. تمام. طيب يا مستر انا عايز حضرتك تديني حاجه بقى من غير ما اقعد ارسم والكلام دوت. طبعا لازم تعرف ترسم، بس ترسم دي هتاخد وقت مننا في بيبر 2، ترسم دي في بيبر 6. طب نعمل ايه يا جماعه؟ converging lens. The only case when it's magnifying glass or magnifying lens. تمام. When it's magnifying lens, okay, it gives virtual. This is the only case of virtual image. Virtual the upright magnified. تمام. أو enlarged. magnified احنا بنستخدم عندنا enlarged. تمام. virtual upright